I'm a libertarian. What I'm getting is,
did you vote for Judge Jorgensen or Trump?
Who?
Judge Jorgensen. That was the perfect answer. Thank you.
What I'm getting is,
did you vote for Judge Jorgensen or Trump?
Welcome to the Libertarian Podcast review. This is Tyler Yonke. I've got Dickie with us. The Four Doors, More Whores. Senor, is that?
What is
are you
up,
by any
everybody?
chance, streaming this on your own computer? I've got Dickie with us. The Four Doors, More Whores.
Hey, what's up, man? Sorry I'm on a delay.
I've got some feedback. You hear that?
Yeah.
Is that you or me?
I don't know. I think that's you. Mine isn't.
Oh, that's me. Oh, fine. Okay. There you go. I handed up the link. This is how we do it live. I brought Dickie in. We're just gonna.
I fuck it all up.
Yeah, we're gonna. No, it's not you. It's me. I had the thing up so I could put it out and tweet it, and here we go. So we'll see. We've got 2 people already in here, so it's already a glowing success. How are you doing this morning? And introduce yourself, whatever name you want to call yourself, and let's go from there.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm Dickie Walnuts on Twitter. Today I am Senor Four Doors More Whores after Senor Rittenhouse, his little trial that is going on. We've been following that diligently. I would say diligently. It's been 2.5 days of following it for me. So that's what we're doing. And I'm also working right now. So I'm kind of half-assing this, but that's what I do.
I'm working too. I'm in my office. I'm at my desk right now. Behind me is the parking lot and my wonderful view here. So I might be billing someone. Let's see. I could bill someone as we do this. So yeah, I'm an attorney. I'm just saying that only because we're going to talk about this trial thing, but I don't think I want to do it from that perspective. I can give you some insight, but I thought we would take it from 2 guys watching this trial. And what I really did was I'm going to go through and we're going to play some clips here of what I found off of Twitter and some of the people's reactions, some highlights we have. And we'll do. By the way, you're pushing out loans right now. Is that what you're doing?
I might be. I'm not going to confirm that because that could dox my workplace. But yeah.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know. I thought that's what you had mentioned. Okay. Yeah, we don't want.
No, it's all good.
Hey, tell me what it is. There's a lot of guys online, right? That they're kind of anonymous, right? Like yourself. How do you feel about that? And do you feel that it is really a big threat to possibly being doxxed? And I know Fat Dave got nuked from his job, but that wasn't really, that wasn't over politics stuff, but it was obviously over something that we can get nailed for.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've actually never really talked about this that much. So I used to never show my face or anything. Now I don't care as much. It's more so like, if you really want to dox me, you could probably do it. I'm just not going to give it to you. I don't put my name and stuff out there on Facebook and stuff. I'm private. So if you didn't have much knowledge otherwise, it might be hard to find who I am. But actually, Fat Dave getting doxxed was what led me to do that. Let's see. I had a different Twitter, I think, before he got doxxed. And I wasn't really involved with all of this stuff. I kind of paid attention to Tower Gang every now and then. I would listen to an episode. They only had like 2 or 3 episodes at the time, but I think it was in a Facebook group that I was part of. Somebody, Jose, somebody threatened to dox me. I think they were putting something I posted on Twitter. And I was like, well, that's not good because I'm going to end up like Fat Dave.
Right.
So, yeah, let me make my Facebook private. I'll make a different Twitter. And I made the Dickie Walnuts one because obviously my name is a variant of Dickie. And I like Pauly from Sopranos. So that's what I did. And so then I just quit giving a fuck about showing my face and stuff because I figured I'm going to meet half of you guys anyway. And I did. So I don't know. I'm halfway anonymous. Some people can do it. Some people can't.
It is interesting how, and by the way, let's talk about this Jose thing here. He says, what a boy is going to pump my gas. I'll be back in a minute. Is he going to fill up a bunch of lawnmowers? Isn't that, because I know he's
That's what I thought he was saying. I thought he said he wants me to pump his gas for the lawnmower.
Pump his gas.
But he's a fellow Mexican today, so.
Right. So I'm not anonymous, and I know it's funny because you see, like Ace was starting out there. He just has a picture, and next thing you know, it's a picture of him, and the next thing you know, he's just full raging out there. So it happens. I know everyone's got to somewhat protect themselves. Me, I'm kind of lucky in that case. I mean, I'm probably twice your age as well. I kind of over this, I don't give a shit type of thing. But own my own business, so it makes a difference, and I get where everyone's at. So no problems there. We'll just call you Senior 4 Doors More Horse. What did you think about the Kyle Rittenhouse with that when that Twitter or was it TikTok name
It
came
was
up?
TikTok.
Yeah. What did you think of that?
The first thing I thought of was, shit, I really hope I don't have to have a trial, self-defense or otherwise, because they're probably going to pull up my social media. And that's not something I want people back home to see.
Right.
It would be funny, though. Tyler needs to change his haircut.
So I was going to mention that. I was like, let's talk about Binger or whatever his name is. Look, I was actually going to say he ruined my joke. I was like, besides the fact that this guy's haircut is on point and he's very, he looks like he's probably super smart just based on his hairstyle alone. He's kind of a dick, and everyone's taking shots at him. But Twitter is interesting to see how it's so divided. I was going through some videos and stuff last night, and people are unhinged on, I wouldn't say on both sides because I don't think we're unhinged, but it's interesting how kind of the left, let me make a noise there.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. How the left, are really taking the pro DA and position. They're always kind of line in with the justice. You are a noisemaker. What's your dog's name? Okay. Well, Dickie's taking a break here. That's the way. That's the way we do it here. 4 Doors, More Horrors. Let's talk a little bit about the Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay, he's back. What's your dog's name? There you go.
All right. What'd you say?
What's your dog's name?
That one is Bean. She's a little Beagle Pit Bull Terrier mix. And I got Walker. He's an American Bulldog. And we got Lucy. She's a Red Bone Hound German Shepherd mix.
Gotcha.
They're all mutts.
Gotcha.
Except for Walker.
I have 2 dogs. I mentioned it out there this morning. So we had a bobcat in our backyard. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty horrendous. Coming at our chickens. And by the way, I do own real guns, but the ones I shoot at in our neighborhood are not.
Yeah, it's a small yard. You can't be shooting no real stuff in there.
It's actually about a half-acre yard there, but on the other side there's a college. There's people just go throwing your 9mm out there, or shotgun. So I would like to. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the trial. What you've been watching it from day one, is that correct?
No, I've watched the last 3-4 days or so. I've been keeping up since day one, but since it's really picked up more, I've watched it.
What did you think about, first of all, that it was even, hang on. We're going to get another one here. Fat Dave says, y'all would start streaming right when I'm about to go to lunch with my wife. Okay.
Eating lunch with his wife? Gay.
Right. So what did you know about the Rittenhouse stuff before the trial started?
Pretty much everything that we had access to. I tried following it the day after it happened. Hang on. I'm sorry.
Great. I thought you were testing this all out this morning.
I was.
How'd that work?
Shit. There we go. Hey, look, man, this is a pawn shop microphone and stuff. So cut me some slack.
Talk to me about that real quick. So are you using like a USB mic? What's your setup? Dale?
Okay, so I got this little audio box. This is all my brother's. He let me borrow it. I got a little audio box. It's hooked up via USB to the computer. And then I got, I don't know what you call the cable for the microphone, but yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what any of this stuff is. I'm a fucking caveman. And I got this. I'm using my nice webcam that I'm supposed to be using for work too. So I never use it for the Zoom meetings at work or anything. I just use it for this.
Gotcha. So I'm the old one here, and you're the boomer in this case. So that's great.
Honestly, yeah, my dad is like in his 50s, and he knows so much more about technology than me. It's pretty sad.
Right. I'm pretty good with it, and you've got to keep up because I have kids, and so my kids help me stay up on this. Okay, so Kyle Rittenhouse, we're going to start here with it. So trial comes. One thing I think that's great about all this is the fact that there's been so much video out there and I think that's why people don't understand that maybe he took the stand for a few reasons. One is self-defense. You just kind of have to really get into the intent and what he was thinking. Mm-hmm. So there's that part. And then they were winning so much. And then the fact that there's so much video out there, which kind of makes you think maybe you didn't need to actually testify, but it wasn't going to hurt his way of kind of not contradict everything. So you ready to? What did you have to say about that? Anything?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised to see him take the stand. I know I was talking to you about it, and you said it's like a like end zone dance, pretty much.
That's so kind of what I was thinking of it. Like, yeah.
I thought that was pretty interesting. I like it. I actually like the move more than I thought I would, and it was very interesting to see his perspective. If nothing else, just because I'm curious, I just wanted to see what he had to say about all of it. I know I saw plenty of video before, and they showed it in court of the guy who talked to him at the protest asking, why are you here? What are you doing? Hey, I'm putting out fires. I'm giving medical aid. So I had seen that, a year ago, and that was really all we heard from him, right? I don't know if there was anything else that he had said. And I followed
this all from day one. So most of it, it's pretty, I'm getting it from the trial, and I've really started watching it when Kyle took the stand. And I did actually watch the open. I was actually doing it on, and you can slay me if you want, but through Louder with Crowder, he was doing live on and so that, they have the commentary and the open, and it was amazing to see the prosecutor almost in that day giving testimony. I mean, he was laying out the case for Kyle in a sense of like, well, he was. I mean, it was just interesting. It seemed at that point it was already running aground. So, all right, let's.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it could have damaged anything too much. I know some people were claiming that Kyle contradicted his friend. I don't know if it was Dominic or someone else. They were like, oh, he had a contradicting statement in his story. And from what I remember, it wasn't that big of a deal. And it's probably just him not remembering it correctly. The big meat issues of it, fucking me. Hang on. There we go. So the big issues, I mean, he's gonna win on. And Grosskreutz just outed himself when he said, I didn't get shot until I raised my gun at him. It's clear as day. The only reason they have a case is so the DA doesn't get, crucified by the mob. They just want to show that they tried so that they can blame the jury and, get the blame off of them pretty much.
Yeah, I would agree. I think if they didn't bring this, they would have a riot on their hands. And so now this is the easy way to go. And they still may have one after the fact. Like I said, there's so much video. I mean, if he contradicts himself, it's really about something irrelevant, non-material, because, and by the way, the guy that maybe it was one of the guy that got shot in the arm.
Grosskreutz.
Yeah. Okay. I guess he went on TV now and said that he's trying to contradict his own testimony. But I mean, talking to Michael Strahan on TV isn't the same as witness testimony. So it doesn't really matter now. So.
Okay, here's a side thing about all this, because you mentioned Strahan, so it just reminded me. Like, we know corporate media has their head up their ass about all this, but it is just disgusting seeing the headlines coming out of this. They're all the same. It's a lone survivor from the Rittenhouse shooting, or Rittenhouse shooting victim, or flat out saying that he murdered 2 people. Like, it is just gross.
Yeah, it's very bad. And we'll play a clip here where the judge, let's go through these. I'm just going to start. And these are ones I just kind of bookmarked. So they're in no specific order, but they're just kind of, gives us an idea of, let's see if we can find it here. It's the best. They've changed the layouts. So now I'm having a tough time. This one. There we go. We'll try it this way.
He He's commenting on my client's right to remain silent.
Okay, I'm gonna have trouble. I'm not a big fan of the way Twitter does this. Okay,
I don't want to jury here. He's commenting on my client's right to remain silent.
No, Your Honor, I am making the point that after hearing everything in the case, now he's tailoring his story to what has already been introduced.
The problem is, this is a grave constitutional violation for you to talk about the defendant's silence. And that is, and you're right on the borderline. And you may be over, but it better stop.
Understood.
This is,
Your Honor.
Okay, so what did you think of when you heard the judge talking about that? And I know you're not an attorney, but I don't think it really matters because I think your opinion can still make sense.
I remember when he did that, and I laughed my ass off because it seemed like such a Hail Mary for the DA, or I guess he's an assistant DA. I think.
Right.
I think he failed at
he's
getting
assistant to the DA.
Assistant to the DA.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Which actually makes some points relevant, which is he's not the one pushing to bring this to trial. It's the DA that is. He can now accept or not to do that. But it's his job to just do this. So he's not the main one in charge. But he still has a duty to perform this. So I'm sorry, interrupted you.
Well, I actually don't completely know all that was going on with that. So was the DA trying to fuck with him when he was remaining silent? What was going on there? I do remember that moment, but I didn't know all of it.
Yeah. So you get arrested and they read you your Miranda rights, and you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you. So he remained silent. That's what he did. And now Binger comes on there and says, "Hey, you didn't talk about this at all." Well, that's his grave. That's as the judge went nuclear on him, that's a problem. You can't bring out the fact that he had his constitutional right and he did it, that he didn't speak out. So the question is, was he trying to subvert this? And actually, since he's so in the tank, as far as his actual, the trial's going here, did he actually just try to blow it all to begin with? So then the opposing counsel is like, hey, let's dismiss this with prejudice, which means you can't refile it. And,
okay, hold on. Obviously, most of us know what that means. Have you seen all the hot takes on Twitter where they say they're saying the prosecutors wanted to dismiss it with prejudice, and people will say, "What does that mean?" And all the NPCs are saying it means the judge's prejudice against Kyle. I've seen that hundreds of times on Twitter, and it is making me laugh my fucking ass off.
Right. And these are the kind of people that say, "Hey, I took a business law class. I know what I'm talking about. Or I watched some sort of personal TV."
Yeah.
No, that's not what that means. It's just with or without prejudice, which means they can dismiss it and bring it back or not. Because this thing called res judicata, which is you can't retry something you've already been tried. People talk about double jeopardy type of thing, right? So that's kind of what that is. No, and the DA wasn't the one looking to dismiss this case. They don't want this dismissed. They might want it dismissed, but they don't want it done in they've lost the case, or then you could blame the judge or something else. So
yeah, and to me that's just highlighting how little people know about this, and it's pissing me off. I mean, I already know people don't think the same way that a lot of us do, but just the fact that they know absolutely jack shit about it, to think the prosecutors want this, or to not know what dismiss with prejudice means, or mistrial with prejudice, excuse me, or basic facts about the shooting when we've known a lot of the facts about it for over a year, and people don't do any diligence to look into it.
I think it was Josh Smith, who got nuked on Twitter, by the way, had tweeted out someone's Facebook where this lib is basically saying, "Oh, I didn't
know they were white."
Yeah, that they were white. That's what's so crazy about some of this, the racial stuff. So I'm starting to laugh when you were going to say, "Oh, people," because prejudice, that's they don't understand necessarily. You use terms different ways, and their only way to know that is white privilege, right? White privilege, I imagine. So. Okay.
Yeah, and the fact that they're bringing up that there's like one black juror, as if that has anything to do with this, when you're in fucking Wisconsin. I mean, do black people live in Wisconsin? I mean, I guess a few do, because the cop had to shoot somebody.
Right. Well, isn't that why the riots were there?
Yeah.
So, okay, let's try this other one. This is another one that's coming about. And by the way, I'm hating how Twitter is here, but let's try this again. And one from Mr. Binger. And by the way, so it doesn't echo. I have to mute you and I when we do it. So let me play this. All right, so it's spinning, and this sucks this morning. So try it one more time. This guy is a kind of a douche type. So
Littlefinger.
Yeah. So I can't, for some reason, it's not playing that one. Let's try this one. This is Anna Kasparian going, kind of changing her mind on all this. I don't know if maybe it's not going to, maybe my whole internet's going out. I don't know what's going on with being able to do this. So, all right. So this is a bust. Sorry about that, Dickie.
What was that clip? You're saying a journalist changed her mind on it?
Yeah, this is from the Young Turks. And she starts out basically stating how, you know, he's a white supremacist, blah, 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 all this typical shit. And then that he was a murderer. And then she says, I've got to change my mind. And, you know, when the trial's actually happening and they're actually showing the video of him being chased and shooting the guy. So I thought it was actually somewhat interesting. But as you can see here, it's not happening. So this other one down here was Binger talking to, was Gross Truck. You know how to say the guy's name. Was it?
Grosskreutz, I think.
Grosskreutz.
I'm not German. I don't live in Wisconsin.
I cared about how the pronunciations here. Yeah. So he evidently he came on the stand. Do you want to talk about that one? Do you remember what he had said in that guy?
I didn't watch all of it live that day. I think I watched most of that one later. One thing that was interesting to me was he made this statement that everybody's highlighting, you know, when they asked him, when did he shoot you? And he basically said, when I raised my gun at him. And everybody clipped that. I think there was a part before that where he said, I raised my gun because I saw him, what he said, re-rack the rifle. So I know a lot of us were saying that Kyle cleared a malfunction or something, or, you know, he charged his rifle again before he shot Grosskreutz. And then it was interesting. Kyle said later that he never did that. So I thought, I'm not sure how valid this is, but I thought, okay, in my eyes, if I was Grosskreutz and I was indeed thinking that was an active shooter, and I don't know why you would surrender to him if you had a clear shot and you thought he was an active shooter, but okay, say he was. And then I saw the person, you know, charge their rifle again, you know, making sure that it was seating around. Yeah, that might scare me a little bit. There is the fact that Kyle didn't point it at him. He still had it level. But I thought they might actually use that. The fact that Kyle supposedly rechambered around if he cleared his gun or whatever he did. And then Kyle said later they didn't. So it's making me wonder, where are they getting that story from if Kyle didn't charge his rifle? Have you seen much about that?
I think that was the guy that got his arm blown off. I think that was his testimony.
Yeah.
And, you know, Kyle said no. And then I think yesterday they were looking through some more video trying to determine whether he was, because I think they had, it seemed like there was an expert on talking about that yesterday, about whether
the
lady.
I missed half of yesterday. I was busy.
Oh, well, they're doing work. Okay. I'm in and out of this too. By the way, we're not going to, please don't come back here and say that we're giving all kinds of legal analysis of this. This is just two schmucks, even though one of us is an attorney. I do family law. This isn't necessarily what I do. Although I did get, on our Discord, one of the guys was posting in there yesterday about there's a law about self-defense for Wisconsin. And it talks about retreat. And if you're committing a criminal, so it does try to say, for example, you can't go and, start robbing a 7-Eleven and then you're that guy is coming after you for defending himself. And then you're defending yourself, that doesn't necessarily, you know, if you started the criminal offense, that you are then being able to use self-defense, even if you have retreated, because it could kind of break that up. So anyway, there's these little things. And I think the DA might try to do that. You saw him talking to Kyle, you know, or when he was cross-examining him about his intent and what he was doing. And, you know, did he understand, why are you bringing a gun to this thing? And, you know, it was strapped and all these stupid things he was trying to go at. But you do like Binger's haircut, right?
It's okay. It's better than mine, probably. It's a little clean.
All right, let's see if I could, if I fix this thing at all here. Oh boy. Okay. Let's try this one more time.
Rosenbaum never says a word, correct?
Correct.
You don't know, as you sit here today, what Mr. Rosenbaum was thinking, do you?
You mean at the time of the shooting?
Yes. Or at any point in his life. I mean, you have no idea what Mr. Rosenbaum was ever thinking at any point in his life. You have never been inside his head. You never met him before. You don't know.
I've never exchanged words with him, if that's what your question is.
So your interpretation of what he was trying to do or what he was intending to do or anything along those lines is complete guesswork, isn't it?
Well, he said, fuck you, and then he reached for the weapon.
Okay, so I love that part. He said, fuck you, and reached for the weapon. Did you hear that okay?
Yeah, I heard it okay. Yeah.
That was pretty much a banger. You know, that's the kind of thing you don't really want to have coming towards you when you're the prosecutor and you ask a question, and then that's the answer that you're getting. I don't know why he's trying to go into what he was thinking anyway, but I thought that was pretty good testimony.
What's funny to me is the amount of faith. Hold up.
Okay. The poncho.
There we go. That's just gonna keep happening. I don't fucking know.
I just keep fixing it when it does.
All right. So what's funny to me is the amount of faith that the prosecution team is putting in their witnesses that they have. Like that guy right there, he obviously did him no favors. It didn't help them out. And the borderline autistic guy, that one that was on the spectrum, clearly, the photographer. Yeah. Like, you really think you're going to get an autistic guy to lie for you? Because they asked him to change his statement. It's like, come on, man.
Right.
Right off the bat, he just says, it was cordial, but I was nervous the whole time, basically insinuating they were bullying him. And then he completely says, yeah, you guys try to get me to change my statement. So no.
You know, I was mentioning this. I tell my clients, or, you know, any witness on the stand, to be like a piano. In other words, when you push one key, I only want to hear that one note. I don't want to hear a whole song. And you've seen this with some of the people. I mean, in the prosecutor, you know, he's asking him a specific question. He should get the specific answer back. But, you know, it's also interesting that the judge at one point admonishes them yesterday for they're objecting to something and they're being all technical with it. And then one of the excuses that the DA says is, well, you've let this kind of stuff in already. And the judge comes back and says, yes, you need to object to those things as they happen. Then if you don't, then I'm not going to make a ruling on it just because it comes in. So my point on that is with testimony, sometimes you just let a person go because it's giving you the info you want, even if they're kind of going it. So you may not actually object, even though you could on some things. Okay, let's go through. This is the reporter. Oh, this is Anna Kasparian. I want to play this one because I thought it was somewhat interesting. It gives us a little bit of a breakdown on her thought process and what I think a lot of people are. So ready for this?
Wrong about that. Okay, so I want to correct the record. I was in fact wrong about that. So look, these details matter because if you're going to make an argument that you acted in self-defense, there needs to be some proof that there was an imminent threat. Now, what really mattered to me was how all of this unfolded. What was the thing that sparked it? What started all of it? And initially, I was under the assumption that Rittenhouse was the person who was chasing after Joseph Rosenbaum, that's how it had started. But I was wrong about that. Okay, so I want to correct the record. I was in fact wrong about that. And to show you the evidence, to reinforce that I was wrong about that, I want to go to this video that shows how everything really started.
Here is where we first see Joseph Rosenbaum, the first person Kyle Rittenhouse fatally shoots that night. He joins the fight against the armed civilians, as other protesters tried to stop him. Rosenbaum has just been released from the hospital after undergoing mental health treatment. His reasons for being here are unclear, and he doesn't appear to have attended a protest before. But his actions on this night will add to an already volatile situation. Rittenhouse walks towards a parking lot where cars are being vandalized. He passes Joseph Rosenbaum, who was fighting with the armed men at the gas station earlier. Rosenbaum now starts chasing Rittenhouse.
All right, I don't know what the hell just happened there, but we might just keep having technical difficulties as we walk through. The point is, that was actually really good reporting of trying to be, what?
That's
a
Walker.
Dog whistle? Oh wait. Oh, okay. Yeah. What do you think about a journalist like that, especially such a caustic one, changing her opinion?
Yeah, there's a lot of things in there that really crack me up. So first, I guess I'll start with, credit to her for admitting she was wrong on something completely obvious, but she is a woman, so congrats. Good job.
Right.
But that just goes to show you claim to be a journalist, but you're this lazy. Like, I'm nobody, and I was able to figure out that little angry midget guy was chasing Kyle. Like,
right.
Everybody could see that.
Right.
I don't know who she was listening to, but I mean, I guess props to her for changing her mind.
Yeah. What's interesting out there is there's a lot of this. We just saw this morning the tweet from LP Texas, right? I think that's who it was. They're super based. And they were saying about complaining about how Rittenhouse won versus Kenneth Walker, which is Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, right? And I take each one of these at face value, and walk them through. I mean, the kind of thing we have to do, and I just don't think a lot of people are doing that. They jump immediately to their own bias.
Yeah, I remember that tweet. Yeah, you were telling me about that because I couldn't remember who Kenneth Walker was.
I had to Google it, by the way.
Do what?
I had to Google it.
Yeah, I totally forgot it because you don't ever hear about it. You just hear Breonna.
You know why? Is because no one's complaining about it. That's why the tweet was so stupid. Because everyone thinks he was. I mean, someone breaks into your house, you're gonna defend yourself. No one's complaining about that.
Right. Nobody in our spheres or on the left either that I've heard was complaining about Walker.
Yeah.
It's only been back the blue extreme like Republicans.
And I will say, like my dad, who would be that, he has no problem with what that guy did. I mean, I didn't even know any right people though trying to do that one. All right, let's keep going on some of these. If you're okay, you still got some time.
Yeah, I got plenty of time. Oh, one more thing.
Yeah,
it's cracking me up the fact that little Rosenbaum, he just gets released from mental hospital, and you can tell the man is
psycho.
He's raging. Like, there's no reason he should just be screaming at a bunch of dudes with rifles like that. Like, do you not want to fucking live? I know, Jose. I'm sorry. And he had never been to a protest before, so baby's first protest, he's sure kicking it off right.
That's a great comment, not Jose, but what you did there, because in the report they said, and this was apparently his first protest. Like, because he didn't have a Molotov cocktail or he didn't have a proper sign. I don't know why that was important. But,
hang on, I'll be right back. This dog's pissing me off. Let me take care of that.
Not a problem.
You can take my video off too, just for a second. I'll be right back.
All right, so I'm gonna just play another video. This is, which one is this one? Big shout out, Bruce Schroeder, for giving Americans a glimpse of hope for the future of our justice system, was what this person said. And let's play this one.
Next time it happens, I'll be asking for a mistrial with prejudice. He's an experienced attorney and he knows better.
The court left the door open.
For me, not for you.
My understanding of
you should have come and asked. Why would you think that made it okay for you without any advance notice to bring this matter before the jury? I was astonished when you began your examination by commenting on the defendant's post-arrest silence. That's basic law. It's been basic law in this country for 40 years, 50 years. I have no idea why you would do something like that.
And I think I had played that one earlier, but I didn't play it with the music. So the music was important there because I don't remember that in the court when it was actually happening. I'm going to keep going through some of these while Dickie is away taking care of his family. I guess he's coming back here. Let's unmute him, even against Jose's wishes. Oops, no, I don't want to. Let's add him to the stream.
Am I back?
You're back. How's that? Oh, he took care of the poncho. That's a little
I know, it was
disappointing.
itchy. It was very itchy, so I had to take it off.
That's fine. It's all good. Jose put up again, learn to mute you. I don't know what his beef is, but I did mute you while you're gone. I played one more clip there and it was the judge freaking out, but this one had some like thunderous kind of metal music behind it. So it was a little bit more enforceful. Yeah, that's all I have. Okay, this is another one. This is where people are freaking out, by the way, as well. This is what this trial brings out the crazies. And I love our community where it's pretty much shitting and making fun of all this stuff. You know, as soon as the 4 Doors More Horrors thing came out, there was all this, and it keeps going. But this is, I'm going to play you a few of these. This is what the left is getting all up in arms about. And I saw some blue check, like, you know, there's all these ones making a big deal about this. I don't understand. You tell me how you think this is racist. Maybe we should bring Jose to further comment. I think he's the king of this, but here we go. Hang
on. Let's hope for 1 o'clock. I don't know. Hope the Asian food isn't coming. Isn't on one of those boats in Long Beach Harbor. But let's aim for 1 o'clock.
Okay, let's hear your take or your hot take on why that's a racist.
Is that a new stereotype for Asians to be late? I know Hispanics like me and Jose, we're always late to things, but I don't really get it. Long Beach Harbor, is that one of the ones that got stopped up because Pete Buttigieg or whatever the fuck his name is was taking paternity leave?
Right. So, you know, they take an infrastructure joke, which really, you know, or delay, you know, because everyone knows about this, just because he ordered Asian food. And the point is, he didn't want it to come, you know, he didn't. It was on a slow boat from China, I guess, is what his thing is. But yeah, it seemed a little over the top. But this is what you're seeing with this. What did you think about his phone ringing and playing Lee Greenwood, "God Bless America" ringtone?
Oh, the MAGA dog whistle song. Yeah, anthem of the Proud Boys and all kinds of right-wing white supremacists. You know,
right.
Can't be patriotic.
I think even Lee Greenwood's tired of that song by now. It's a little odd to have as your ringtone, but I mean, I even thought what I thought was a real tweet. Someone saying this guy's name is Schroeder. Ricky Schroeder donated a lot of money. Is this his dad? This seems like he should be able to kick this judge off the bench for that. You know who Ricky Schroeder is?
I do not. I'm sorry.
So Ricky Schroeder, he was a childhood actor, probably about my age. He had a show called Silver Spoons. Okay. It was, you know, Carlton from, what's the Fresh Prince? He was on it, I think, as a kid.
Oh, okay.
Jason Bateman was on it as well. And anyway, it's called Silver Spoons. And then later on, he was on NYPD Blue. He's just an actor, but he's a country boy. He lives out in Colorado, and he donated a bunch of money at the time to the Kyle Rittenhouse Fund. So allowed him to get an attorney. Okay, that's what that is. Let's try this next one. This lady, she's a little bit extreme, and let's see if you can maybe help me through what you. Where we go.
Oh, Grambo.
There you go. I don't know much about her, but let me mute you and go. Hang on.
And Rosenbaum started shouting back at us. That he's gonna, pardon me, Judge, for saying this and everybody else, but he's gonna kill us motherfucking niggers and cut our hearts out.
The gentleman on the screen there said that?
Yes, multiple times.
Okay, Dickie, who is she talking about? And tell me more about this lady and why we don't see her more.
I think that's what we call Grambo. She's the lady who had the little 380 pistol. Yeah, she's just proving the dude was a fucking psycho. You know, I'm also loving all the hard R's they're throwing in court. That's very entertaining. It reminds me of the stories you were telling about you saying inappropriate things in court as many times as you could.
Right.
It's like in school when you're reading about history or you're reading like Huckleberry Finn. I don't know. I'm assuming that's banned now, but every chance the teacher would get, they would say it.
Yeah, we were using the word anal, and like I mentioned at one point, I thought the court reporter probably just programmed that word in, so that she just hit a button every time because it was a lot. It was good times. This is as this tweet's gonna say here. It was a savage take. This is one of my favorites. Let's go to this one right away. By the way, yeah, this is a good take.
Rapist called Joseph Rosenbaum was released from a mental hospital and then went directly to join the mob that was burning downtown Kenosha. Once he got to the riot, Rosenbaum saw Kyle Rittenhouse and immediately threatened to kill him. Rosenbaum then chased Rittenhouse and tried to pull the gun from his hands. When he did that, Kyle Rittenhouse shot him. So Joseph Rosenbaum died as he had lived, trying to touch an unwilling minor.
Okay, I think that's pretty base right there. That's one of the best takes we've seen in this whole scenario, especially from such a prominent person. Yeah.
He didn't credit Ryan Dawson for that joke, but it's okay.
Was that a Dawson joke? Okay.
That was a Dawson joke. I didn't hear it from him originally. I heard it like on Reddit or Instagram last year. But the one you hear it the most is Dawson. He usually says that one.
I mean, it's an easy one to do. It's just amazing that a major news person pulled it out.
It's a breath of fresh air to hear it from Tucker, for sure.
Right. So let's talk about the two people that did die, right? And even the third one that got shot, the lone survivor. These aren't necessarily great people, and I don't think that doesn't matter. You know, I made the point where, you know, a hooker, a whore, a lady of the night, she can still be raped, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really matter that they were bad people. You know, you're because Kyle didn't know that at the time, but it does maybe wane your concern about the outcome, I guess, in a sense. What do you think about these two people, and what do you know specifically about them?
So my one thing I had to say about them, it probably doesn't factor into what Kyle did because he didn't know, but it's a nice icing on the cake. You know,
right?
The world is a better place now that they're gone, and either gone or neutralized. You know, I'm sure Gage Grosskreutz is not going to be robbing any more homes with his one left hand.
Right.
And no, it shouldn't matter to the jury what kind of people they were, but it will. I'm assuming they're people too, especially considering the type of character assassinations that we're trying to see from either the prosecution or the media, right. How they're saying whether Kyle has a TikTok name of, you know, 4 doors more whores, or he wore a shirt that says free as fuck, because, you know, that's super relevant. You know, if they're going to play that game, then the other side can too, because they have a pedo, you know, with multiple offenses, a burglar or thief, whatever the fuck, you know, and a woman beater. So it's a nice icing on the cake, if nothing else.
Right. So what I would also mention in there is it was interesting. The first day, the prosecutor, he's mentioning in his opening statements that Rosenbaum he didn't even have a place to stay that night. Right. So he was just
really,
well,
I didn't hear that.
Something like that. Right. And the point was, he said he came from the hospital, but he was trying to have him as some sort of sympathetic person. So then the defense team's like, okay, well, we get to that now. Talk about why he was in the hospital, because, you know, once you open, as I say, open the door, you know, you only get if someone brings something up, now you can at least cross-examine about those situations. And man, he was, that's why I sent it twice. Jose said, and so I thought that was interesting about being able to actually, because him being in the hospital, as you mentioned earlier, that's kind of his mindset. And even Anna Kasparian was saying that. Jose said signal is screwy. That's why it's sent twice. His signal or ours? I don't know.
I think his, because didn't he send something about muting me twice? I mean, I know he has a vendetta against me and my microphone, but it's probably that terrible signal when he's out there cutting grass or whatever he's doing. I know I'm back at it again. Turn that down.
Yeah, it's like BC in the compound. The helicopters are swirling.
I know.
You met
duck. It's Vietnam all over again.
you're some PTSD, which we're going to actually take a little bit of look at here in a little bit.
Oh,
some of these ones.
Before we hit that, so the thing on Rosenbaum, I think it can play into it though, because the dude's acting like a complete psycho. He's unhinged. I'd be scared too. If I'm armed with a rifle, which is much more powerful than our fists, obviously, and as the prosecutor was quick to point out, more powerful than a little handgun, and I see somebody who's not scared of that and is going to try to grab it from me, yeah, that motherfucker, he probably, I don't know if he's hopped up on something or he's insane as his case or what, but that motherfucker has retard strength and retard rage, so he's not stopping until I shoot him.
Oh,
so that definitely plays a part into it.
I think so as well. And the fact that he had a violent propensity of, himself, he was just kind of that person. Now, all these things, we don't know what Kyle was thinking, but you can spot crazy. We've all seen crazy, right? Either dating or in other people's out there in their world. So speaking of crazy, I want to play you this one because this is I don't know why I laugh at this stuff. These people are so weird and unhinged sometimes. Here's a great one. Hang on here. Okay, bring this one up. I don't know who this guy is. He's got a small group on Twitter, small little website or whatever on YouTube. But I thought this was fascinating. Here we go. Are you ready for this?
Dramatic monologue prepared for us. Go when you're ready.
As I'm walking down Sheridan Road,
there was people right there. That's what That's right, Ron.
That was something. You know what? We'll call you. Don't call us. Okay, thanks. Bye. What was that?
Yeah, the side of compassion, aka the left.
Right. Which one? It was just poorly done. Let's talk about that first of all. the horrible editing and the whole bit there. He's a casting director. I mean, what do you think about? And look, we make jokes about all this stuff, right? Like nothing's really sacred here. And we're talking about the one-armed guy. He's armed and he's still, but he's not armed at the same time.
He's a true lefty.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever seen Arrested Development?
I have not. I'm not
okay.
familiar.
Well, there's a guy in there. His name is Buster, and he loses his arm to a seal. Okay, it bites it off. So he goes to the hospital, and they come in contact with this doctor, who's this literal doctor, and the doctor's like, he's all right. And they're like, oh, thank God, we were worried. He's like, wow, you're taking that really good. I mean, he lost his left hand, and like, oh, okay, he's all right. Never mind. So, dun. Yeah.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah, thanks. I tried. It's funnier with it. Okay. How about some of these other ones here? Kyle, it's all kind of the judge ripping on Kyle. Here's one I thought we'd take here. This is the media's take. It is, I just saw this one this morning. It's Don Lemon and kind of, do you live out in the country? I don't want to dox you at all, but you own guns. You kind of seem like somewhat of a, you're
Stop, Fed. Stop.
Country boy.
Yeah.
You're aware of the country boy attitude, right?
I'm aware of the country. I grew up in a trailer park and I live in the country right now. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And while I live in Sacramento area in California, I grew up in the Northwest, little town, same idea. I lived in Colorado out in the rural parts as well. I live kind of out in the suburbs or the countryside where I'm at as well. So I get it as well. So, but I thought this was the demeaning parts of this, the Don Lemons types of the world. Let's try this one.
Okay.
Wannabe vigilantism that I think encapsulates both of these trials. And I wonder what you think about, look, laws aside, how is the defense doing aside? What do you think about just this idea that this is something people do, that in some places this is still okay.
Well, it's the same idea as I was saying about the judge. This is okay because people are used to it. This is the ultimate entitlement. That, again, you can insert yourself into a situation with a gun that you're not supposed to be carrying, kill 2 people, injure, and you are made to be a hero by the public. You see someone jogging down the street and you take it into your hands. You think it's your responsibility to stop that person when you're not even sure if they are committing a crime because what? It is your street. It is your town. It is your country. It is the ultimate degree of entitlement when people believe that this is how they're supposed to be. What the right is saying about Kyle Rittenhouse is that, well, the government didn't do its job, so it took a 17-year-old kid to come in and do what was right. That's vigilantism. That's not what people are not supposed to be vigilantes. We're not supposed to be taking justice into our own hands. Imagine if every single person in America did that. Imagine if you call for black men or just black folks to be armed and go out on the streets and, do what they think, justice, take it back, remember, and what they did to you and slavery, whatever, go and take things and do. Imagine if people were condoning that or just doing that. Would there be a different perception in this country about who should and who shouldn't carry guns? Would our gun laws be different? I certainly think so. So there is a double standard, but it is the ultimate degree of entitlement. This is what I'm supposed to do because this belongs to me, meaning this street, this town, and this country. And I think it's tough for people to hear that, but it is the absolute truth. I don't walk down the street saying, I pay taxes here and therefore no. If I see someone breaking the law, I call the cops. That's what they're there for. It's supposed to be about law and order. This isn't about law and order. This is about unlawful conduct and disorder.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man, so many things in there. So I love the quote tweet. Whoever posted that, he's spitting that utopia shit.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's fucking go. It just shows how much hypocrisy we have in the media and how it's more of a vertical fight than a horizontal one. They will completely switch up and, lick the boot when they want to talk about a Rittenhouse situation. I don't know what Arbery has to do with this because he mentioned that too. But yeah, we know for a damn fact Don Lemon was on the side of defunding the police last year. So why is he saying he's going to call 911 if something bad is happening? That's the ultimate entitlement. I don't know why he's saying people trying to, take ownership of their neighborhood or their community. I don't know why he's saying that's entitlement, because you're literally putting the work in and you're not trusting someone else, aka the government, to take care of it for you. So, Don Lemon is showing his whole entitlement attitude right there. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Well, it's also interesting when we go back to the DA's cross-examination of Kyle, and he keeps saying, "Hey, why don't you just call 911?" And then he also has to admit, well, hey, services aren't working, everything. And Kyle's like, everything's on fire. You don't understand. No one's coming. I don't understand. Just calling 911 is not going to resolve the problems here.
Yeah. Did you really think you're going to get him with that question?
I know. It was pretty good. But Don Lemon's too, his kind of his attitude. I mean, yeah, he was not saying, and by the way, this title here, it says, white vigilante. I mean, it's so much about color for this when no one's, the only thing that of color was the BLM riot issue itself, right? I mean, have you seen anybody black or besides the one juror that we're really having an issue with here?
Yeah, it was white on white all the way around. Most of the protesters that were there were white. Furthermore, most of the protesters at these BLM events are all white people too. So I don't know what race has to do with it, especially in this scenario.
Maybe it's because the Rosenbaum kept using the N-word. I don't know if that's why.
That could be. Maybe they heard that and they thought Kyle was saying it or something.
Right. Let's go to this guy. He was on, I have not actually seen this thing, but I'm interested. This is Drew Hernandez. He testified yesterday. Did you see his testimony?
I saw like 5 minutes of it.
Okay. I thought it was good. He, you look at his Twitter page or his website stuff. He's definitely one of these more Andy No, righty blogger types that are out there doing it, and he was kind of pushing that narrative. And then the DA tries to get into, what are your politics? And the judge wasn't having it because it doesn't really matter. The video is the video. He was there because he had to testify that it was his video. So you use that because he's got to be able to put it into evidence who actually had all the video, and he had a ton of it. But it was interesting, as if a mega guy is going to, now you're going to say that the video is biased. That doesn't make any sense. But let's play it here. What he said with Tucker.
Drew, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about the reaction. I think a lot of our viewers may have seen your testimony and have followed your reporting since the start. Tell us the reaction that you got to telling the truth in court.
Well, I immediately started getting messages on social media, people telling me to kill myself because I, quote unquote, defended a murderer. Here's the thing, Tucker. People are accusing me of being biased. Even the prosecution was trying to paint this picture that I came in with some kind of bias. My only bias is one thing, the truth. And that's what I was doing today in that courtroom. I wasn't there to give a political opinion. I wasn't there to put a spin on anything. I was there because I was an eyewitness. And I also have body cam footage of the entire night, which I submitted to the defense and to the prosecution, to the state as a whole. I was not there at all to have any kind of opinion to be stated. I was there to do simply one thing, and that's to tell the truth. Because he who speaks the truth declares righteousness. And that is a lost art in the United States of America right now. And I knew I had to do the right thing so that the jury could know, the state could know, America could know, and that the world could know the truth.
Amen. I think that's the highest virtue. So in your impression as an eyewitness, this Rosenbaum, the convicted child rapist, I don't think we can say that enough, was the aggressor.
Absolutely. Rosenbaum was attempting to push a burning dumpster into police vehicles that were occupied by police officers, human beings. And once someone put that dumpster out, he immediately started to get confrontational with people at a gas station to the point of requesting to be shot by them. And after that skirmish took place, he retreated to the street, covered his face, began to burn trash cans in the middle of the street. And then 2 minutes later, he made his way to Car Source and began to charge Kyle Rittenhouse from behind. And the rest is history.
All right, so you never want to charge someone from behind, but that's kind of what happened. So what did you think of that guy? First of all, is he trying to get his minutes of fame?
Well, first of all, he's hot.
Right. Why is Daniel Levy testifying?
No, I think he did great there. He's exposing the prosecutors doing what they're doing and fucking bullying the witnesses, and how people are also trying to intimidate the jurors too and intimidate him. We have our legal system, and as fucked up as it is, it's what, I'm not saying I put my faith in it, but it's what America claims to put their faith in. So why are you going to riot when you don't get your desired outcome if you're a statist? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk, at length as to why the riots took place in the first place. So what was interesting about him on the stand was that I mentioned before, you ask a question, you kind of want just an answer, and they would say, did such and such happen, or what were you thinking at this time? One time was someone pointed a laser pointer at him from like some up on building. So he said he had moved, and the DA is like, well, were you scared of this? And he would said yes, but he can't just say yes. He's got to say yes because there was rioting, and that, and he kept having to interject a little bit, and it was a little bit much. So I hope that doesn't taint anything there. But he did. He was intent on showing a whole picture of a huge amount of rioting. That's why he was there, and to make sure that the jury knew that. So whatever.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with that guy's testimony because I was a little busy yesterday, but I saw some of it and I saw part of what you just shared too.
Okay, good. Let's talk real quick. You're going to start a new podcast all about Bible. Let's talk about that.
I might. It was some idea I came up with this morning in the group chat. Right. So I'll tell the audience about that. So in our little autistic Tower Gang group chat that we have. I don't know how we started talking about this. We were talking about just insane Bible stories that they can't teach you in Sunday school. We mentioned Simeon and Levi. They had a sister, and she got raped by this guy, I think, and he wanted to marry her. And so they told him and all of his family to get circumcised, and then they could be part of their family. And so they did. And the next day they killed them all while they were bloody and sore and shit. So those kinds of stories, you know. And I was joking with Travis Tyree and you and Fat Dave, like I should start a podcast and just talk about the based Bible stories. I don't know what I would call it, but there's a lot of stuff in there that's pretty based. And Sunday school teachers sometimes can be faggots and not tell you the good stuff. So
yeah, that's
thinking
how you bring
about
the
it.
kids in, right? Get them interested, and you know, when they start getting hornier, you read them Psalms or whatever the one that's
Song of Solomon. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So
teach him about Onan, who got killed because he fucked his dead brother's widow, but pulled out instead of making a baby with her and got killed for it. You know, good stuff like that.
Right. This is the way to go. I think you've got you know, I've got a little bit of a niche podcast, and I think you do as well in your future. So if you do that though, well, let's talk, because I might want to help you get some different audio so that you can make sure you're not having a bunch
Please.
of static. Yeah,
my equipment is like from Bible times. That's how old it is.
All right, that's good to know. Anything you want to tell the people to follow you, find you, or anything? What do you got? Anything upcoming? And on any more podcasts or?
Nothing set in stone yet. I've got a few plans with some people to possibly go on shows, but nothing that I can definitively say. Just follow me on Twitter. I am Pine__Barons. I'm working on a video for Tower Gang. I know I used to do a lot of those. I used to pump out like 3 a day after they would do a show, but I've been slacking. So sorry guys, I'm going to put one out soon.
How do you do them? Are you like my daughters? You just do them on your phone?
Yeah, I do. My computer is a piece of shit, and so I do it on free software on my phone, as you can tell.
No, you did fine. They're coming out fine. But just talking to you with your technical skills here, that's what I started to assume. So there you go.
I may be the executive producer, but there's only so much I can do. So until they hire somebody better, it's what they got.
What goes into the executive producer job?
Making the videos, occasionally making fun of Toad in the videos, because that's what I like to do, and that's about it. Just so it's a self-proclaimed title.
Okay, I like it. I think that's good. So if something goes wrong, then you can not really be blamed. Like your audio. Good God, man.
Choppers again.
Okay. We're out of here for today. I really appreciate you joining me. We'll do this again, of course. I don't know, Jose, he's trying to revamp how I do the show, and I think he's got some good points. It's not as easy just coming in here and talking to myself, so it's a little more enjoyable. However, it's not always easy doing the technical audio stuff, the video. So appreciate you once again coming in here. And got any big plans this weekend you want to let us know about? Football?
Probably shooting guns with Fat Dave and his wife. So I'm just pray that Lizzie doesn't shoot me. Nothing is more scary than handing a woman a gun.
Right. Don't Cheney or Alec Baldwin anyone there. So, all right. Take care, everybody. Thank you, Dickie, for joining us. I hope everyone enjoys the trial. Guilty, dismissal, or mistrial, or innocent. What's your prediction?
I predict a not guilty, innocent. I think they'll go all the way through.
All right. I'm hoping so as well. Thanks again, everybody. Go ahead and check out Dickie on Twitter. Find me as well, and like the show, and just go ahead and share it. Thank you.
Yeah, I just started live streaming. Cut me some slack. I'm pretty high tech for a boomer. But anyways,
Boomer.